Hi, welcome back to Scarecorn Volume 4, the Grab Bag Edition.
Yeah, our second movie is Abigail.
So, I saw trailer, part of a trailer for this, obviously when it came out, and I was like, yeah, that seems like a fun time. And then I told you about it.
You told me numerous times, like, oh, we should do that. And then I saw on this one guy's YouTube thing, and so I was like, oh, let me look up a trailer. And I was watching the trailer, and I was like, I don't know if this is the one Jay was telling me about. So I said it to you, I was like, is this what you're talking about?
And I was like, yeah, that is what I was talking about.
It looked like a good trailer. I mean,
so
I'll let you go into it.
So we open with a group of 6 doing a kidnapping because, why not?
I didn't know if they were together or not because one group came to the house first and the other group was like out, en route.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know if it was gonna be like 2 competing companies trying to kidnap this kid.
and so they kidnap a kid because money, and so they're driving up to the house that they need to keep her in, and I think I made a comment like, so the big twist or the big premise of this movie is the kid they kidnapped is a vampire. And as they're driving up to this house, I'm like, did they kidnap a vampire for another vampire? Because they come up to the gates, and it looks like a vampire house.
And it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and they're basically told, hey, keep her here for a day. I'm taking your phones. No names, but if you want names, here's your Frank, Joey, Peter, Sammy.
Oh, you're really good. I remembered Frank, and that was about it.
One was like Winkles or Wrinkles, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And then I can't remember the first.
I assume you can call the black guy Finn from Star Wars. You can call the tall guy, you can call him Elon Musk because he looks like Elon Musk. And then Frank's the one guy, and then Joey's the main girl.
And so basically about an hour into this, not in the movie, an hour into them holding Abigail, Joey basically screws everything up.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. She walks in and Abigail's like, oh, this blindfold's too tight. Can you take it off? Oh, can you take these handcuffs off too? Oh, here comes Frank. I've seen his face, and now I'm going to concoct a lie that he works for my dad.
Yeah. So the other plot point of why Frank freaks out is that when Frank goes into the room after Joey goes into the room, Abigail is like, oh, my father is this big, not mob guy, but like basically
criminal empire.
Kingpin. Yeah, Kingpin. And so Frank's kind of like, yeah, no,
shit,
I'm fucking out. Like I ain't gonna deal with this.
And somehow they convince him to stay. Like they're like, well, we'll just go kill her.
Yeah, I was really hoping that there'd be like one character to just be like, yeah, I'm just leaving.
Yeah, I was hoping Wrinkles would leave.
But then they kill. Then we find. She kills off his actor's name, or his real name is Angus McCloud, I think.
Angus
Cloud. And so he gets killed off first, and then Finn gets killed off second.
But not before Joey is told, hey, did you know Frank was actually the guy working for me? He's going to murder all of you. And she's like, hey, we're going to team up because we can't trust Frank.
Yeah, he's talking to Finn.
And
then Finn gets eliminated instantly.
Yeah, as soon as they split up, Joey turns around, he's dead.
He gets like his face like from his jaw, from his mouth down, like ripped off. And then the Angus, he gets beheaded. So it's kind of like.
So this is where the group starts to like turn on itself until they go into Abigail's room and she's just like, nah, I'm a vampire, by the way. And they're like, ah, shit, we need to get out of here. And, basically nothing happens for quite a while.
Well, they devised a plan to take garlic.
Oh, yeah, right. They're like...
the stakes and the cross upstairs. And Joey's like, yeah, you three can do that. I'm not doing that. So the other three go up there, and they get their asses beat by the vampire, by Abigail. And then they come back down, and Frank's like, if you fucking say anything...
if you say I told you so. And,
it was a pretty fun fight. I mean, it was like Abigail was just kind of toying. Like she probably was gonna kill him, but it was more like, oh, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you, and because she let him leave. Like,
yeah, no, they got their asses handed to him. Peter gets stabbed a whole bunch with his crucifix.
Oh, it's Peter Elon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sammy gets punched a bunch in the ribs. And Frank gets one of the stakes through his leg. And they go downstairs, and Joey's like, hey, guess what? All those weapons didn't work, but we got one that does work. This syringe that put her out the first time when we kidnapped her. So the whole idea is to wander around the house by themselves and hopefully survive long enough for them to regroup so Joey can knock her out and they can lock her up somewhere. There's a big confrontation where Sammy gets bitten. But they do eventually knock her out, and they put her in an elevator. Like one of those old-timey cage elevators. And Abigail's like, okay, if you let me out, I'll let two of you leave. And I think Peter's like, well, okay, which two? And she's like, it's a surprise. Also, that deal is ended. No, only let one of you go. Yeah. And Peter's almost tricked by it, but he gets shot by Joey.
He's like, you shot me, Joey!
I love Peter. And, so, Peter, Joey, and Sammy all leave, leaving Frank alone. And Abigail's like, hey, if you let me out, that deal still stands.
Oh, before we get too far, this is where Abigail explains who everybody is.
Oh, yeah, but like...
She goes down each person's name, like, oh, you stole money from my family. You
also stole money from my family.
And then...
You got 3 of my lieutenants locked up.
And then, Joey, you're just a shit mother.
No, she let one of her dad's business partners bleed out.
Oh, okay.
By accident. Because she was...
See, I was really hoping Joey would have, like, a fucking, bad past to, like, all of them. Because as soon as you didn't hear that, you're just like, come on. If we're all... Well, I guess Frank's not bad. Because he got them arrested. But, like, still.
I mean, that's still a pretty traitorous thing to do. It's funny, but, like, half an hour in... I'm like, do you think we're going to get a Saw rundown of these characters' backstories? It was like, these aren't just random people. This was a group of people put together. And then it happened. But yeah, no, so Frank's like, look, we'll make a deal. You tell me how to leave the house, and I'll let you out. And so Abigail tells him, hey, yeah, no, there's a book in the library. Pull that, and there's a secret passage. And Frank's like, cool, bye. And she's like, but you promised. And we're all not surprised, but when she just kicks the door down, it's like, oh, well, you weren't even trapped in there. So they,
Abigail jumps Frank, and then Joey comes back down, and it's now daytime, so they have light come in, and it hits Abigail.
And her arm explodes.
Yeah, then they all run to the book room, and Frank's like, just looking at the books, and they're like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm finding my ticket way out here. He finds the book with none behind it, pulls it out. He thinks something's going to happen. Nothing happens. He's like, God!
So, they have an idea. Sammy comes up with the idea that all they need to do is turn the power off, and they can leave, basically. Like, they'll just reset the security system that's keeping them there. So they split up again. Unfortunately, since Sammy's been bitten, she's a thrall. Like, Abigail's just like, well...
Yeah, she puts the big
Yeah, the record.
Oh, record? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. She puts the record on, and then it can instantly... I think Sammy was trying to tell what's his name again? Frank?
No, Peter.
Peter. Tell Peter, like, oh, hey, I'm turning, but she couldn't talk, and then she turned, and she killed Peter off.
Yeah.
And then they do a dance scene.
So Frank and Joey come into this situation because Sammy is like, yeah, we got her. She's over here in this room. And, I mean, technically she was. But they run away back to the library. And they're running out of daylight. So Sammy goes to jump them, and they pull up a reflective pan. And they get her real quick, and she just explodes. And as they're waiting, a secret passage opens. And they go down there and they find the guy who set them up pretty much. And he's like, hey, we can kill her, but I need to turn you into a vampire, Frank. And Frank's like, sure, why not? And then as soon as he's a vampire, he explodes the other guy. And he drains Abigail of some of her blood. And then they get into another big fight scene. And Abigail's like, look, Joey, you and me need to team up. I'm too weak right now. And Frank's hubris gets him. Because he's like, oh, I'm all-powerful vampire man. And then he immediately gets stabbed. Like, they knock him down and they just impale him. And
yeah, this is what I was telling you. I was like, I was... Because before the whole big fight scene between Abigail and Frank and Joey, Joey makes a call to her son. And so, because she's like trapped in the cellar. Like, so when Abigail came in, she locked the cellar up. And I was like, this would be a great moment to like really like change the trajectory of the movie, where Frank's like, "Yay, I'm gonna be stuck here, but I'll get out here and go save your kid." But no, Frank just has to be like a fucking asshole.
Mm-hmm. And then after the fight, Abigail's like, "Okay, yeah, you should probably leave now."
You pinky promise if you save me, I'll save you.
And so Joey's going to leave, and then Dad shows up.
No, I swear to God, he walked in and he was like, and I was like, oh, I hope to God he sounds like that.
Unfortunately, he didn't.
No, he's got a strong accent, a strong English accent.
And so
he's not Dracula, but I was trying. There's no. I'd be curious to see who which stem of he comes from. Like, if they're like, oh yeah, well he's on this stem of this stem to this stem of one away from Dracula.
Oh, how many steps? How many degrees removed from Dracula?
Yeah, how high up is he in the pecking order of vampires, and like just like what peck like which generation he is?
Well, centuries old.
Yeah.
At least. And
Everybody's like, this is my friend, you can't kill him.
Yeah, pretty much. And like I think he licks her hand and he's just like, ew, that's gross. You should probably leave.
Well, I think so. I didn't quite know. So he kisses her hand, and I don't know if like, you know how like when you eat sugar, you're just kind of like, oh, like I want more sugar, I want to eat it. So I couldn't tell if like he was like, oh, I'm gonna eat this, but he's like, I can't,
Oh, I thought he was more disgusted. Like, ew, this is gross.
No, because I thought I was gonna be so earlier. So Sammy fell in. So how we find out that Abigail's like a big mastermind is that she brings all her victims there, and they put her in a giant pool. When they're all dead, they put them in the pool, and Sammy falls in the pool, and then Abigail goes to bite Sammy. I was like, it'd be so funny if she's just like, ugh, like, oh, you gotta smell like diarrhea, oh, But it didn't happen. So that's why I've been funny if like if the father was like just like, ugh.
I mean, he certainly looked disgusted when he.
I don't know. So that's funny. That's just I took it. We both took it two different ways.
I mean, he was either disgusted or he had some sort of epiphany. Like, oh, I can't eat you. Which I was thinking, well, maybe she's part of vampire because, Frank did bite her to turn her into a thrall. And
Yeah, so I think so it's interesting because how Frank gets turned is that the one guy bites him, and then the guy bites himself, and then pours blood in Frank's mouth, and that's how.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Abigail did. Oh, maybe if you pour the blood in there, maybe it turns you faster. Because I guess Abigail did bite Sammy, and then Sammy.
I was thinking that the blood is a pact kind of deal. So like you're not a thrall because you have the vampire's blood, because you wouldn't normally get that if a vampire bit you.
Okay.
Which is why, I mean, obviously the one guy didn't have enough time to realize that Frank was going to backstab him immediately, but it definitely seems like maybe he couldn't puppeteer him.
So if you turn into a thrall, then you get if your person that bites you dies, you still stay.
I don't know. This movie didn't seem. Yeah. This movie kind of played fast and loose.
None of this matters, but I like having fun talking like this stuff, like trying to figure out.
My theory is, if you're simply bitten, you are a vampire, yes, but you're a lower vampire, like one that, hey, I can just take over your body at any time. But if you're bitten and then you get the vampire's blood, you're probably a higher tier vampire. Because, clearly the vampire that bit you had some sort of trust in you and is like, hey, I won't need to control you.
Oh, it's okay, I get it.
But we only get the 2 instances of people becoming vampires.
Right.
So,
well, yeah, because Abigail was able to control Sammy, so I was curious to see if because I thought for sure that Abigail was gonna be able to control Frank, and then Frank was gonna die to Abigail. Mm-hmm. Like Abigail was gonna come like, oh no, I'm actually still in control because I'm 2 tiers ahead of you. I bit the guy who bit you, so you still serve me. Yeah.
Packing order. But
yeah, like I said, I don't think. Not saying it to you, but I think in general the movie doesn't care. I don't think the movie cared anything about that. I think it's just like, oh, we're gonna have a funny vampire that's gonna be a child that's gonna run around.
Yeah, I know, and then we'll have a vampire fight at the end. That'd be really cool.
I mean, like nobody's gonna sit here for like 16 minutes and talk about vampires. Yeah, so then Joey gets to go home
and everything is good.
So if you guys watch the and you brought this up, but if you guys watched the Discovering Shark Week, we told you about the one scene of one of the Sharknadoes where it's going so fast. Well, the credits in this movie were going so slow that Jay put on 1.5, and they're still just going even slower.
They wanted you to know who made this. They were very proud of it.
Nobody's getting sick. It was honestly, for the most part, it was a pretty good. The set. What they were on was pretty good. Like nothing looked fake. The makeup department was kind of lacking a little bit with like there's just a scene where like Joey's just standing and she just looks golden with the way the light's on her. I was like, oh, The
only like thing that really threw me was like there was a scene at the very beginning where they're driving a car up the driveway, and that car looked fake as shit, and I don't know how they did it. Like there's no way that they used a fake car. Like that was a real car. Like why did it look so fake?
It was a Matchbox car.
Yeah, it was the cameraman. He was holding the car right in front.
Yeah, you saw his hands. It was kind of.
It was a perspective trick.
But otherwise, I mean, for a lot of movies that we watch, they look really shitty. But when you like watch them, I was like, oh, okay, this is like kind of high budget. I guess it was Universal too, so I mean, I guess there's probably some money behind there.
Yeah.
The story was kind of lacking, where it's like, it had, I think if they would have cut out like the splitting up, like that would have made the movie a little bit better, and maybe not kill off Angus and Finn like so fast, because it was like nothing happened, and then 2 deaths like pretty like within like 10 minutes of each other. and then nothing for like another probably like 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
Yeah, they kill off the 2 characters to raise the stakes, and then like the 4 of them are together for quite a while, long enough that they can split up like 3 times.
Yeah, and it's just the splitting up is just like
it's like, stop splitting up, you idiots.
I played this one game, and it's made by who does the, it's not Telltale, but the other one that does the Supermassive games.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in a house that's ran by a serial killer. So the serial killer knows where everything's at. And then my character was like, we should split up. And I was like, no, we shouldn't, because that's a stupid fucking idea, because we're in his house. He knows all the routes. My character's like, no, but or the other character's like, no, we really should split up, and we could we could take the killer on. I was like, all right, well, I'm taking this knife because you're gonna die if I'm not gonna have you die with the knife. So
Don't you lose the knife for me.
So that was just kind of like my thing with like this movie, where it's like, why the fuck are you guys splitting up? Like, you obviously know that when you fought them with the 3 of you, you couldn't take her on. So how do you think that taking one by one is going to take,
Yeah, no, there's a lot of, like, really dumb decisions that they kept doing. Like, there's a part where Peter and Sammy, right before Peter dies, they're in a hallway, and there's some light trickling in. And, like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, yo, it's just fucking boards.
Yeah.
Peter, take it down.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I would do. Like,
Peter just slammed to the fucking wall a few times.
They're in the library, and the library is full of light, so the girl can't get in there. But there's a window. I mean, it's high up. But I was like, just take all the fucking books and like try to like make a staircase out of them and break the window and get out that way. Because they're like, oh, well, obviously we have to find the power source. And it's like, you don't know if there is a power source.
Yeah, I know. There's a whole lot of like, man, you guys could have won easily if you just, didn't do this.
And then I think when I don't remember who it was. What I think it was probably Peter and Sammy. But when they're upstairs, I swear to God, they passed a window that wasn't blocked. I was like, and it was like on the 2nd floor or something. So I was like, try breaking the window or something. That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
So. Wow.
Anyway, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I had a good time. I think it was a little long.
What was the first movie we did?
Lisa Frankenstein.
Wow, was that with what's her name too?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know who what's her name is.
No, the Sammy girl.
I mean, maybe.
That would be funny if that's.
I can look it up real quick.
I don't think it is. But all right, you look it up. I'll keep talking to make sure that people don't get bored if they're even listening. It's the other one that looks like her too, I think. But the one girl, the Sammy girl, she was in the Freaky. I don't know if we did Freaky as a movie, but I had it.
Catherine Newton. Let's see.
No, that is her, I think. Yeah, that is her. So we did 2 movies with
Huh. Wild.
Yeah, because Lisa Frankenstein, Abigail, and then I don't know if we did Freaky, but
what? Oh yeah, there's Freaky as well, huh?
Yeah, Freaky's you remember Freaky, right?
Yeah, I remember
Freaky.
Okay. I don't think we watched that for the channel. I think we just watched it because I was like, yeah, that sounds like a really dumb idea. Vince Vaughn acting like a girl, or a girl acting like Vince Vaughn.
Well, how the hell did we fucking do that? How the hell did we do 2 in a row? Because we did Lisa Frankenstein like what, May? Or was it? Was it? I think it was April.
Yeah, it was April. It was like April 16th or something. Oh, spoilers. We are.
Oh, they know. I told them.
We are dating these videos. Hey, it's July now.
Hey, the Shark Week hasn't even come out yet. We'll really date it.
Yeah, no.
I didn't even finish editing it. But the Shark Guy did come out, so now I got him doing the ballerina dance. Oh my God, he's doing the ballerina dance too! I didn't think about that because
I can't believe it.
Because I saw what I saw was the ballerina dance, and it almost looked like he's doing a twister. Mm-hmm. So I bought that a couple days ago. I was like, oh, hopefully the Shark Guy will come. I was just having him spinning around. So we won a couple of matches, and I'm like, I'm a Sharknado! So I'm gonna hope to have that footage in there. So.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow, even though it'll probably be a month before.
I was gonna say it's probably gonna be. It'll be a little.
I
bit.
mean, I've got.
We're gonna sound older. Go back and watch Lisa Frankenstein. We probably sound like this. Our balls drop now. We sound like this. You know, and tomorrow we're gonna be like, yeah.
I mean, we both did age between Lisa Frankenstein.
That's true.
and this.
That's true. So, all right, guys. Hope you guys had fun.
Yeah. See you guys later.